Hello, welcome to SquishiVision. It appears that my computer is revolting against the amount of streams that I've been doing, and so things might start getting a very laggy. I hope I'm coming through more fluid than I am. Disney dropped a lot of content on Friday. I'm here to pick it up. That's basically my opener. This is part of my 11-part live stream I'm doing today, which is part 7. We're going to watch the trailer for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I've covered a whole bunch of content. Go to my channel and see what I've done so far. But I think if I mince words, my computer will die before I finish. So I want to get straight into it. So without further ado, let's watch this trailer.
The legacy of that shield is complicated. The world is upside down. People need something to get behind. They need the symbol. So what's our plan? So no plan. Great. What's going on in that cyborg brain of yours? You don't want to know. Oh, yeah, I can see it working. Gears turning. Oh, they're malfunctioning. They're on fire. God, I hate you.
Oh, cute. So yeah, that was the trailer for the Falcon. Yes, stop on the blank frame, I don't know. That was the trailer for the Falcon and the Wasp, which is the continuation of Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson character and Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes character. Straight off from the end of Endgame when Captain America passes on the mantle to Sam Wilson. First of all, my immediate things is this trailer. This could be the trailer of a feature-length film rather than a TV series. Like a lot of kind of where it's cut, the action pieces. It's very distinguishable actually from kind of the feel I get from the Black Widow film trailer, and it makes sense because actually I saw somewhere that Kevin Feige basically says it's a film but split into 6 parts. So it does look like it's shot like a film. Like a lot of especially like the action pieces and CGI are very film quality. And again, this goes back to what I referred to in my first live stream I did tonight of kind of the blurring barriers between TV and film, and this is very much a good example of that. So let's scrub through because I think if I spend too long doing this, my computer will not be happy. So we start off in what looks like. And it's beautifully shot. Like I like how it's all dark, but we get all those reflections. Like this, this is amazing. I don't know if this is CGI or it probably is CGI, but it looks great. So we get like basically all these light boxes with Captain America merchandise. I mean, a vast majority, if not all of them, appear to. I think all these like kind of historic ones from when he was fighting in the First World War, Second World War rather. And then we see a reflection of Sam Wilson. And this is probably kind of him just trying to reflect on kind of the legacy. And he even says that the line, what was the line actually? If you can say it for me.
The legacy of that shield is complicated.
And I think that's kind of like a lot of what his arc is going to be about finding his identity. I just find it curious that they've established that he's not going to call himself Captain America. He's going to basically just call himself the Falcon still. And part of me thinks it's a bit unfair because in the comics, Sam Wilson did become Captain America. It's like, well, why would you deny him the title in the films? Like, it'd be great to have like a Captain America played by a black person, especially in the current kind of era. That would be an amazing statement. And, you know, for all the people who are going to whine about it being, you know, changing the colour of a character, well, it's not just something that happens, it's progressed narratively. But maybe that's part of the arc of this series, and maybe, I predict, I think, possibly one of the kind of resolutions will be him deciding, no, I'm going to take up the Captain America mantle and be a new Captain America. There is actually Captain America in a series, so, there is a character played by Wyatt Russell, who plays John Walker, who in the comics is a superhero called US Agent. And then had the mantle well, he was Super Patriot when he was Captain America, when he was US Agent. And so he's basically the government trying to create a new Captain America. Interestingly, that's already happened in the MCU. So we had the Patriot in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was meant to be a Captain America type figure, and they actually used chemicals to artificially make him a human to have the same kind of powers. So I wonder if there's going to be any reference to that, because there seem to be, like, the whole thing about these Marvel Studio TV shows being made by Marvel Studios and not Marvel Television is they're going to directly link to the films, and that way, but the shows they were never allowed to, which I always felt was a great shame. And there's a rumor, obviously, that Charlie Cox is going to appear in Spider-Man 3 now that the Daredevil rights have distributionally no longer in Netflix hands. Which, apart from obviously Jarvis's brief appearance in Endgame, which was basically a cameo, this is the first substantial. Just having Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Spider-Man would be the first kind of actual substantial crossover to non-Marvel Studio TV shows. But it would be nice if you reference, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is probably the most successful MCU TV series. It had 7-8 seasons. Lasted a long time, was very well critically acclaimed, even if I didn't think the ending was quite on the mark. So hopefully they refer to that some way, but maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just want it to be a clean slate. On a cast note, so apart from Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, we also have Daniel Brühl returning as Helmut Zemo, and we see him in the trailer, so we'll talk about more him when he turns up. And we also have Emily Van Camp as Sharon Carter, who I didn't catch in the trailer, maybe I just missed her. Which is great, because they always seem to they were building up Sharon Carter in the films or something, and then she kind of just disappeared after Civil War, and we never heard or saw from her again, I don't think. I mean, part of what she was being built up to was Steve Rogers' love interest, which is always a bit weird, age-wise. And it seemed weird that they were building her up when then Captain America's next appearance in the Avengers films would basically be his last appearance. Like, it seemed like there should have been a resolution sooner. Like, there seems to be a resolution to that. I don't mind hugely, because I'm never one who cares much about romantic storylines in films. That's not what my jam is about. But this seemed odd. So it's good that she's appearing, although her entire build-up has been in relation to Captain America. So now that he's out of the picture, it's kind of a fresh slate. So it still doesn't really fulfill any of the build-up that we had before. But it's good. We also get Georges Sepiri reprising as well as Georges Batroc, the mercenary that we see in Winter Soldier, and then a whole bunch of other new characters. So let's continue scrubbing through this. Also, he's cut his hair, just in terms, in case that's relevant. He's no longer got his long hair. He's shaved as well, actually. So we see him more kind of, in a way, he looks like an older Bucky Barnes, even though he has less facial hair. So this is basically like a world-trotting superhero spy thriller kind of jam. They're going to fight this kind of militant group across the world. So we're seeing in loads of different like locations. So this looks very much kind of like a linear kind of area. You see a prison here. Can't recognize the language. I don't know what this is, where this is from. And then these are the, I think, called flag smashers. I think are going to be the enemy. We see them kind of mobilizing. Those are like really great shots of just the two of them. Which I really like. Here's Falcon's new uniform, which is red. And again, we get more kind of, I don't know what this is, but again, this looks like a Marvel film, which is great. Some more kind of action things. I think this is about Sokovia. So we see Daniel Brühl. This is the Winter Soldier's arm dropping a bunch of rounds. I think that's his only really appearance in this trailer. And apparently he's going to get his proper mask in this series. And then this, which seems to be, so this is the new Captain America, played by Wright Russell as John Walker. So obviously he's pretty much a government, so he's very much a government stooge. He's there as propaganda. So this goes back to kind of, and this has been like Captain America films did very well, especially the first one. Give a fantastic depiction and kind of satirized American propaganda and war propaganda and things like that. So we get a great kind of look into that again. Strange thing, his metal arms stick out of his normal suit jacket sleeve, but again, like a lot more kind of spy stuff here. Some balance stuff there. So basically, it's, yeah, a lot of it's kind of, and then some normal kind of, as you expect, Marvel banter here about having no plan. And then that kind of then seeks into what we see with his action piece that looks very much in line with what we see in Black Widow. So it's very much kind of film quality effects here, which is great. But yeah, it's basically they're going across different parts of the world and they're trying to combat this militant group, which I think is kind of the right scale for this kind of show, and I think it'll be very interesting. And I think a lot of it's going to basically rely on the kind of repertoire between Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie. I think they've already established that they can work well off each other, and they both have a lot of, they're both individually very good comedic timed. That's not how you word things. Apart from this bit at the end. This bit at the end didn't hit for me as a comedic moment. So I'm glad it was spot for me in the trailer rather than the show. I hope that means that the comedy show's going to be much better. Nothing here really kind of in a large scheme of things. Apart from obviously the appearance of the new Captain America. Notably, he doesn't use the shield, really, anything we see here, so maybe that obviously plays into his arc. Yep, I think that's all I've got for my kind of reaction to this. I think I'm mostly impressed by kind of the visuals, really. I mean, I can tell where it doesn't quite hit movie standard, but it's so close that I'm impressed. It's definitely exceeding TV standard. I think it's great. We get a lot of like people moments with these guys having to like work their way. As I want to say, I want to see a lot of these guys more. I want to see especially like, because Bucky Barnes basically to be an action character. We've not seen very much of Sebastian Stan actually as a character. He mostly, he's a combatant. Like in Winter Soldier, he was mostly fighting. He didn't really have many lines per se. In Civil War, again, he was fighting a lot, and he had some kind of moments, but really it was mostly just combat. So I hope we get a lot more kind of from him in terms of actual character, in terms of actually seeing what he's like as a person now. Now he's clearly like free of his past influences, or maybe he isn't, and see what leads us. So those are thoughts on this. let me know what you think. What we're gonna do next. Next, I think, is the Wonder. Yep, it's the WandaVision trailer, which is the second trailer. So maybe I have more to say on that. So stick around and we'll check that out.